Good now, travelers. I hope your now is amazing. Thank you so much for visiting 714.com. In this moment and now, we're going to dive into the light projection systems. And I want you to understand that this is not a theory, this is not any type of religion, this is literally just what's happening. So let's get into it. What if I told you that reality is projected? It's not just experienced. And what if I told you that an ancient system for shifting consciousness has been hidden in plain sight? You can consider this as you sitting in a movie theater, but the movie that you're watching, you already created it. So you're not just the person observing the movie, you're the one who created the movie, you're also the people that are in the movie. This system is not just geometry, it's a mechanism for shifting perception, time, and space. There are two triangles and they touch tip to tip. This forms the core structure. And there's the light source that's in the center, and of course, that activates the system. The top triangle, we'll call that the projector, it sends energy and information downward. The bottom triangle is what we would call the receiver, and this is where the projected reality forms. So, this is the reality that things start to take shape or things matter. It turns into a state of matter. If you are familiar with designing like video games or apps or things like that, in this space, those things are called sprites. They're the things that you would put into a reality to make it take shape. This structure maintains energy flow and it enables smooth reality shifts. The top triangle is the starting point. It's where consciousness, energy, and the information will originate. It's like the intent, you could say, and it acts like a signal tower, transmitting a frequency that shapes the reality below. So it will hold the original image or intent, which is then reflected into the receiver. Without it, there's no image, no direction, no control movement of consciousness. It initiates and guides what is sent into the lower triangle. Now, if you've already went through an awakening process, you know what it was like before consciousness came into your receiver. Before you received consciousness, there was no direction, there was no control movement, and you probably didn't even have an image of the reality that you wanted to create. Because when we are not receiving consciousness, we're kind of just doing the things that we're told, and we are accepting reality for what it is, not knowing that we are the ones that can shape it. The bottom triangle, you can call it a screen because this is where the projected reality actually takes form. Again, this is where things start to matter. It comes into a physical existence. Consciousness will then enter and experience the new reality here in this space where you are right now. You are literally inside and experiencing the receiver. False light sources can create illusions and that can distort the original image. So let's say that the intent is for you to become a teacher, and when you get into when you become the receiver, if you are not fully aware of consciousness, you would probably do something completely different from being a teacher. You might play as a teacher, but that doesn't become your career. It doesn't become your passion, and you don't really have any direction as to how to even become the teacher to teach the things that you need to teach. Another example of this, well, not really an example, but just to show you that this reality is a control projection, the structure of this receiver is actually on the back of a $1 bill, and it symbolizes the control projection of the reality that you exist in. The key to this projection is the central light source, and it powers the entire system. It activates and sustains the projection. From your perspective, this is called the sun. Now, I cannot tell you what is outside of that. I cannot tell you the source of the sun. I can just tell you the information that I have right now. And that is the perspective that this light is the sun that's driving the entire process. Our ancestors in ancient Egypt, they would call this the Aten, spelled I-T-N. In modern day, we spell it A-T-E-N. And a lot of philosophical sources, a lot of religious sources have said that our ancestors worshiped the sun, which they did not. They realized that this sun or this light source was a gateway. It's literally just a bridge to a higher realm. So they were not worshiping the sun. They were paying homage to the door that they walked out of. It enables the top triangle to send an image into the bottom triangle, which was shaping their reality. Without it, no energy, no consciousness, none of that occurs. False light sources interfere with this, and it creates distorted or controlled realities. Understanding the light's role is key to seeing how consciousness is guided or misdirected. Either direction, you need to pay attention to it. So why a triangle? A triangle is the most stable shape, and it cannot be deformed without changing the sides of its limbs. It's used in architecture, bridges, and molecular structures for strength. It's a natural conduit for energy flow. Angles create efficient pathways for force. Sacred structures and pyramids often follow this form for energy focus. It's also connected to Tesla's 369 theory, where the triangles will align with these numbers, revealing deeper universal patterns. The triangle aligns because it has 3 sides, and when you multiply or sum its angles, you get 60 degrees, totaling 180 degrees. So you consistently get numbers that relate to the 3, 6, and the 9. The hidden trap, which is false light. And I have to keep harking on this because it is something that is always around you. I guarantee you there is a source of false light around you right now. You just have not realized it yet. Once you are inside this bottom triangle, false light sources will appear. It's just like being on a computer and you have pop-ups. It's the same thing. These distractions prevent your awareness of the projection process. They shift your focus away so you don't even realize that you're actively projecting into a timeline. And this system is just so powerful that it moves so seamlessly that you don't even realize what's happening. So you have to recognize this trap in order to maintain control over your reality shifts. You have to be able to recognize when your reality is shifting. Constantly observe your reality. Constantly observe yourself, and you'll begin to pick up on patterns to see when you are oscillating into a correct light and when you are oscillating under a false light. And I can tell you, anything that takes you outside of yourself is most likely a false light. The only way for you to start this process is just don't forget. That's it. You are not just in this reality, you projected yourself here. No one took a rib from somebody and created you and did all this magical stuff in a lab. You projected yourself here. Along your travels on whatever era, whatever timeline you were on, somehow you got distracted by this false light and you started to believe that what you were experiencing was real. So you have to be aware of the system. See, once you have control over the system, that's when you know how to create your reality. You will be able to know where you are at all times. Reality shifting starts from within. Everything you need is already inside of you. You don't need to read a bunch of books. You don't need to listen to a bunch of lectures. Now, if those things are going to help you to remember, then by all means, jump in. But if not, it's no point in wasting your time. We've wasted enough time. It's time to live as your best, fully aware self to make you a solar-powered being. Keep in mind, there are multiple versions of you. You are the projector, you are the receiver, and you are the light source. Understanding this puts you in control of your reality. If you want to go deeper, the solar system, Deprogramming from False Light, provides resources and practices to help you power on. This is not anything that you need. You can actually do this yourself. Tools and concepts to help you pull away from the false light and serve as a reminder for the true light. You can set notifications on your phone. You can write little notes on your mirror. You can send yourself messages, whatever you have to do. We've been living this lifetime on these weird timelines for God knows how long. So it's going to take some time for you to remove yourself from it. So be gentle and be patient with yourself. You can also check out my YouTube channel at Your Favorite Time Traveler if you need a little bit more insight. And there isn't a whole lot of information. It's literally just a reminder. I show the way I live my life. I don't do anything super magical and spectacular and outrageous. I'm literally just living my life the way I projected it because I'm in control of it. You can also reach out to me at any time at Your Favorite Time Traveler at 714.com. But in the meantime, keep questioning, keep exploring, and most importantly, stay solar powered. Thank you for joining me and enjoy your now.